Hello and welcome. My name is Tourette, and today I'm going to be reviewing Subnautica 2's Early Access. I love making reviews and find Subnautica to be the perfect game to get back into reviewing. I try to play a game as raw as possible and not get any external opinions until I make my review. I love making reviews. I find Subnautica to be the perfect game to get back into reviewing. I try to play games as raw as possible and not get any external opinions until I make my review. Now that being said, I'm a huge fan of Subnautica 2, but I would be lying if I ever said I beat the first game or Below Zero, which I had never played. Personally for me, I found the gameplay loop to be difficult to understand without following a guide, at least in the case of Subnautica 1. I've heard Below Zero is a bit different. I did spend quite a bit of time in the first Subnautica though. I had a blast while being truthfully scared of the waters beneath me. So far from what I've experienced, Subnautica 2 feels like the true sequel to the game that has been stuck in my heart for so many years. Let me get into the negatives first. Subnautica 2 is not fully out, so things are likely to change and be different from its full release. But so far my biggest gripe is there is so much going on. I played with 4 people with massive scatterbrains, and I don't know if this is a problem for single player or not, but the game's notifications do not stop. Every 5 minutes I get a notification that the NOA in the live pod has received an alert. Similarly, I think the game needs to add a skip button, because the amount of times one of my buddies interacted with something that we had already interacted with from the dead survivors, and they went on a 3-minute rant that I can't skip. Now, this is not a game-breaking bug, but just a frustration. I think it's important that each player has some agency over what they can learn. Adding a personal skip button should do the trick in this scenario. Another problem I had while playing co-op was that anytime anyone found an upgrade for their inventory or the biobed, it became a pain in the ass to get our entire team together to go fetch it. A beacon should show up when one of your teammates has gotten it, but you have not. Again, that would add for more personal exploration, being able to do things on your own time, not feeling like you have to all group up to do one thing together. It ended up taking my friend to go around and look up all the spots for the biobeds and placing a beacon on each of the 7 of them. But we still had to go to each one individually to figure out which one we had missed. We had found them all, but we didn't know that. I ended up being the person who built the bases, so I ended up missing a lot of content when I should have been there for it to record it. I say something like requiring everyone to be around the angel combs or in the final area would do wonders. I shouldn't worry that I'm missing something because I'm doing the hard labor of the group. The dirty underbelly of the group, really. It would definitely mess with my personal exploration point, but a lot of big moments happen, and it would be a shame if somebody missed out on them, like I did a couple times. Other than that, I found the Collector Leviathan to be a little disappointing. He is the cover art monster, and I think I know why for me personally. In Subnautica 1, when you get close to the crash spaceship, you will end up running into a Reaper Leviathan. It will then most likely smack around your sea moth, destroy it, and then one-shot you. This is exactly how the Collector Leviathan works. Yes, he has an EMP or sonar blast. To my knowledge, it doesn't work. He will try to swim towards you and smack your ship around. He also barely does any damage to your ship. He'll swim towards you slowly, hit your ship a couple times, do some cool animations. If you get out, he'll insta-kill you. And it's really just the same as the Reaper Leviathan from the first game. And the fix could be he actually genuinely hunts you. Because it just feels like it's the exact same AI they used for the Reaper Leviathan. And it's just not as scary as it once was. I think more unique creatures need to be shown. Like if the EMP actually did stop your vehicle, maybe it does. For me, I didn't have to deal with that at all. But the Great Jaw is a great example of a unique, scary creature. It has a ton of resources in the center of it. and then it slowly starts to shut and kill you. I don't know if there's animation for it. I never got by it, but it was definitely scary and felt like something new that really was missing from the monsters. Don't get me wrong though, the music for the Collector Live Anthem is on point. It makes my butthole pucker every time I hear him when I'm trying to pass the Great Gap. On to the positives. I found the exploration to be absolutely amazing. The only reason I didn't want to finish the early access was because I kept wanting to find new stuff. The game does the fear of the ocean so well, and the fear of the unknown so unbelievably well. There's this low visibility fog that makes it so hard to see. Your ship lights can barely penetrate the depths, and it makes you wonder what you're truly looking at. And the set pieces of the massive tree are so awesome. The tree is so big it is impossible to get the full grasp of how big it is. The first person perspective also works so well in the game's design. You can only really imagine how big the creatures are. And with that, the game does the fear of the unknown so well, just like Subnautica 1. Subnautica 2 starts just like Subnautica 1. More on the rails, but I think it's important for us to learn about the adaptations. You cannot breathe the oxygen until you get the first adaptation, and then your second adaptation is finally being able to eat the fish around you. It's a really cool new gameplay feature. I also found every tool to be useful besides the flare. Maybe it's useful for you, didn't really need it for me. A great example of a useful tool is the sonic resonator, which now accesses the prawn suit and the laser cutter from the first game. It just feels like technology has advanced a lot since the first game, plus the printing respawn mechanic is so interesting and creates massive possibilities for the story beats of the game moving forward. Now, I don't know jack shit of what is actually going on in the story, but damn, what I thought was going on was cool. I think my issue was playing with 4 people. The story just kind of hard to understand without us all just sitting down and watching or going through the RPDA. I could have watched a YouTube video, but that feels disingenuous, and I'd rather just feel my raw experience as playing with 4 people and not knowing what the fuck is going on. Now, with that being said, I'm going to wrap out the video. Since it's my first review for a game in a while, I wish to make my rating system 1 out of 100. Not the most unique, but I find decimal points to be annoying, and single digit is way too nondescript for what I want to get into. I think the game is a solid 84 out of 100. I want to shy away from the 50 to 70 range as much as possible. Especially 70, I feel like that's the default range for a bad Call of Duty game that IGN would give a review for. Truthfully, the ranking system really doesn't matter all that much. It's just to put things into perspective. If you want to know what I would truly recommend about this game is to just play it. Experience it on your own. If you like it, hate it, you will understand the game within the first 2 hours. If you're playing on Steam, that's the refund time. If you liked Subnautica 1 and likes Below Zero, you're definitely going to like this game. If you like survival games, this will scratch an itch. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you found my review at all unique or interesting. Reviewing an early access game is always difficult, but at the rate this game is going, it could be in the high 90s or low 90s, more likely. I chose to ignore bugs and glitches. Most of the glitches that happened were easy enough fixes, where it was the ship just flying around. One of my buddies got launched 10,000 feet into the air. It was annoying. We ended up losing that ship, but at the end of the day, it could have been fixed by a simple quit out. The game saves progress pretty frequently, which is a good and bad thing depending on if you get a really annoying glitch. But all in all, it didn't affect my experience too much, and I still find it worth the $30. If you disagree, and I would say within your first 2 hours, you would probably experience one of those bugs where you have to like quit out and join back in. I know they plan on fixing the game and doing a lot of bug fixes soon, so when the game fully comes out, I just don't see that being a problem. And even if I did consider it, it really wouldn't have changed my ranking from the 84. The incredible hidden gem that is the Spubbergated.